All these people have something in common. They went to the same surgeon, a surgeon some are calling a sociopath, and they are telling stories of botched operations that left them with agonizing pain. Now, that surgeon has just been indicted for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. What was that deadly weapon? His surgical tools. Here's Lisa Guerrero's investigation.
They showed up struggling to walk, some limping, some using canes, and others unable to walk at all. These 9 people are speaking out to Inside Edition about the man they say ruined their lives.
He's a monster.
Drug addict, a psychopath,
killer.
And they're not talking about a hardened criminal. They're talking about a neurosurgeon.
Our next best doctor, it's neurosurgeon Dr. Christopher Duntsch.
In commercials, Dr. Christopher Duntsch calls himself the best neurosurgeon in all of Dallas. He specializes in relieving back and neck pain.
Then they come back to me to discuss surgical options.
But these folks couldn't disagree more. They say he's a butcher and a drug addict who maimed them during surgery.
It feels like somebody has an ice pick planted squarely in my back.
Lee Passmore says he never had crippling nerve spasms until Dr. Duntsch needlessly removed part of his spine during a procedure to relieve back pain.
I shouldn't be this way. I'm sorry.
According to Passmore's attorney, Dr. Duntsch had a serious drug problem since he was a resident.
There is one report that he spent an entire night doing cocaine at a party, and then when the sun came up, put on his scrubs and went off to the hospital to treat children.
Another patient, Jeff Cheney, says Dr. Duntsch removed a portion of his spinal cord by mistake. When he woke up, he found the right side of his body was paralyzed.
I was horrified. I was speechless.
Today, Jeff Cheney suffers from a terrible limp, but at least he can walk. Ken Fennell and Mary Efford both say they're forced to use wheelchairs now due to Dr. Duntsch's incompetence.
He took away my life as it was, my freedom.
Now consider this patient. Jacqueline Troy woke up from surgery finding herself unable to talk.
I'm down to one vocal cord.
She says she only has a whisper of a voice after Dr. Duntsch paralyzed her vocal cords.
They didn't know if I would survive.
And Jeff Glidewell says his voice was almost lost forever after Dr. Duntsch mistook his esophagus for a tumor and sliced into it.
He stuck a sponge in the hole of my esophagus and sewed me up.
And that sponge, Dr. Duntsch left it inside his throat.
We're doing the revision surgery.
Neurosurgeon Dr. Robert Henderson was brought in to repair, as best he could, the damage to some of these patients.
This is almost literally a serial killer.
A serial killer?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you have a drug and alcohol problem, sir?
No, ma'am. Never have.
I caught up with Dr. Duntsch outside Denver, where he now lives.
I talked to a doctor who said that you were like a serial killer. Do you have a response?
Yes, I'll deal with that in the context of libel later when I've defended myself.
His patients all say there's a more fitting punishment.
He belongs in jail.
Duntsch denies any wrongdoing and allegations of malpractice. If convicted of all charges, he could spend the rest of his life in prison.